Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Cloud and Data with Koshi. So, in the previous session, we have discussed that what is keyword, what is comment, what is identifier, right? And this session, this is the carry forward of this previous session. We have continued this thing. So, next topic, whatever I've discussed, that is that indentation. So, I just write the indentation. I hope that my screen is visible, right? Before writing and before starting the session. So everyone please confirm that my screen is visible, right? Okay. So just go and change. I hope that you have the Jupyter notebook in your system, and I just change it to the markdown. So first, before writing that concept of indentation, so what is indentation? What is the importance, right? So in Python, indentation is not just for readability, right? It's a part of the syntax and it used to indicate a block of code. In Python, we have to maintain the indentation. Space uses, right? Second point is the space. Python uses indentation to define the scope of loops, right? I'm writing some loop, I'm writing some function, I'm writing some classes, right? The standard practice is used to use 4 spaces of each level of indentation. We require 4 spaces of each level of indentation. But you can use any number of space, right? As long as the indentation is consistent with a block of code. Usually, one of the most important concepts that colon. At the end of the line is followed by the indentation of block of code, right? I'm writing something and I add the colon, right? I write def function name, right? It's used to create the function. Def keyword is used to create the function. So I use that, and then after that I have to write the colon marks, right? And this is common with structure that if I write if condition, I write for, I write while, def, class. So every time I have to create that, I have to add this. So just like if true, right? And you have to basis on indentation. And you can print it, right? This is true. Just I'm right. This is and just change markdown to code because I'm writing the code, and after writing this code, I just add that syntaxes and add that definition on the thing. Just understand the first. So this is the indentation. If I write this thing, if true and print this code, right? So if I hit and enter, you can see expected and indented block. It has expecting some indented block, right? So I have to use some space. The next step. So this is the space that I have used over here, right? And if true, and then print this is true. If I write, then you can see that code is executing, right? So we require that indentation. Without that is showing that indented block error, right? So what I'll do, I write that definition, all the things, so you all can understand in a better way. So indentation. First is introduction or importance. Importance in Python. Yes, so everything I've discussed through the writing. I'm writing this way so you can understand that. Indentation is not just for readability. not just for readability, it's a part of the syntax and is used to indicate to indicate a block of code. A block of second point, that is space uses. Space uses. So in Python, uses indentation to define the scope of loops. The scope of loop functions, classes, etc. The standard practice is to use 4 spaces for each level of indentation. But you can use any number of spaces as long as the indentation is consistent within a block of code. Within a block of code. Right? So I hope that everyone can understand what I'm writing and what is the importance and space uses, that concept, right? And colon. And colon. Usually a colon at the end of the line followed by an indented block of code. An indented block of code. This is common with structures like if true, def for definition of creating of functions, for while, class. Yes, right? So this is the indentation and the importance, so we can understand, right? So it's not just for readability, it's a part of the syntax and it used to indicate a block of code. So I hope that this concept is very much we can understand, right? These things. So right, I have already shown that if I will not add the indentation, the piece of code will not execute, right? Like I'm right, C is equal to A plus B. C is equal to A into B. So whatever the condition is that This is a part of this code, right? And according to this condition, that is working. So this is called the block of code. Understood, right? Right. If I will another example, like I will create def my function, my function. If you write this thing like return hello, if I write this, it will work. So every time it's showing that expected and indented block. So just create some space or indentation for better readability. Because here we are not using the curly braces, right? We are not using this kind of code over here. Not using these things. We are not using these things, right? Invalid syntax. Because curly braces is using the different languages. Or like you are using the JavaScript or .NET or any other, then you can see that curly braces. But in Python, we used the colon. That is the concept. Right? And same thing, we can maintain the indentation, the block of code. We have to maintain it. If I will write, then you can see whatever the code, I'm not calling the function, I'm just add the definition of function, right? But there is no error. No error. If you call and write function, it's simple. Whenever we discuss the function, then more concept we can discuss, right? You can see that hello will come. This is return, right? A simple function. In a syntax error, if you not add the indentation, so you get the syntax error. So this is we have to maintain the indentation. In entire Python languages, we have to maintain this. Because there is, if I will write without indentation, it will show the error. If you will write, then the function will execute it. There is no error, right? So we can understand the indentation part. So indentation is not just for readability, it's a part of the syntax and it's used to indicate a block of code. And we have to use the space and I have to use the colon. And at the end of the line, that is followed by an indented block of code. So this is common with all the structure like if, def, for, class, all the things, right? So you may understand these things. I'm giving one problem statement that incorrect use of indentation. Use of indentation. Like if true. We have to solve, we have to rectify the incorrect, where the incorrect is there, right? So just print and this is true. This is my statement true. Anything you can write, not an issue. So everyone can understand, right? So how we are doing, and also the hands-on part. One is there. Okay. No, I'm mistakenly at this thing. Okay. And for I print so write print I don't not an issue. I will discuss that range whatever. Just I'm using that indentation block. I'm just focus on that indentation part. Where is the error of the code, right? Def hello. Just write print hello world. So I'm just writing here. error expected and indented block, right? Expected and indented block. Print I. So this is one error. If I will not make the indentation, right? This is the error. And while false. And print is won't print. This won't print. So you can write. So you can see that incorrect use of indentation. This is the, we have to rectify this thing. It's showing the error. We have to rectify this thing. So you just think, just you have to create the indentation, right? So this is the incorrect use of indentation. Same thing I will rectify. Just make, you can do, or you can write this way. If true, and then print you just go and paste it, right? Then we have to copy from here for loop. Sorry, someone has knocking my door, so that's the noise. If the noise is coming through, I'm very sorry for that. And now I just make proper indentation. This part, right? One by one I will do so you can understand. Now the code is executing, right? There is no error. Next, you can see that print statement also be there. There is no error. I have to make this proper indent. Now, def hello, and I will do this thing. So there is no error. You can see, and the while statement we have to add. So we have to make it proper indentation. While false, this won't print, right? But if I write true, it will case sensitive. So it will printing, right? Just make it false. So this code is executing without any error. So that means we have to execute it with proper indentation, right? I hope you can understand this concept. Any problems, any doubt till now? whatever I have discussed, the indentation part and this thing. So can we go in the next concept, or you require some time to understand that part? Otherwise, we'll go in the next concept. Please practice in this way, and please do not avoid this thing, and this is required. Because if you are going to more deep and deep in the problem statement or the more complex examples that I'm going to elaborate in this session or future session, so you can understand. Please make sure you have to make practice it. So in this way that you can easily crack all the things. And if you are not in questions or any doubt, we can go in the next concept over there, right? Or you still, better I just give you just 1 or 2 minutes, and then I will start the next concept. Okay, that will be better, I think. That. Next concept. Okay, I'll start. Just a minute. I'll start. I'll start it. Don't worry. This notebook I will provide it. So everyone is okay. Now I am going to the next concept. Yeah, just statement. This I will discuss. So what is statement? So statement, the concept of statement is that statement in Python is a logical instruction that the Python interpreter can read and execute. So statement, we can say it's a logical instruction, right? So Python interpreter can read and execute. So Python requires one interpreter, right? When you then execute that code, it can understand. So in general, a statement performs some action or group some action, right? And the types, we can say that Python includes several types of statement, including assignment statement, conditional statement, looping statement. So that is a use case. So I just write so you can understand, you can understood in better way. Definition. A statement in Python is a logical and instruction that the Python interpreter can read and execute In general, a statement performs some action. And the types. So there are several types of statement. Python, I just make some space so it will be better readability, right? So types. Python includes several types of statement, including assignment statement, conditional statement, and looping statement. So you understood, right? So Python in the statement is a logical instruction. So Python interpreter can read and execute these things. A statement can perform some action, right? So there are different types of statement. First is assignment statement. So we can write the assignment over there, the statement, and condition we have provide the condition, and loop when we create the for loop. So this is called a statement. So now I am writing some code so you can understand. First, conditional statement. Conditional statement. Like x is equal to 2 if you can see the cursor is automatically come here, right? So this is the indentation block. So I have to write the condition. So you can see these all you have to know that this is all are the core concept of Python. So that is required. We have to understand this concept in a better way, right? So this is all of the things that you all have to know these things. We have to work, we have to practice in that way so we can understand, we can practice it and these things, right? So this is the thing that we have to understand. Right now I'm writing. So please practice these things. So it will be better that you can practice and positive numbers. So I just restart this kernel. So I think there are some I'll restart it. So then it will work. So when you restart, just click on the kernel and restart. Right? Now you can just see that. So it print the positive numbers, right? Or else, if you write else part, so you can see the value will be changed based on the x value, right? Else, we are right. These things, just copy, print, and these numbers, right? Or the else will be printing. If I will write 0. So you can see this part of statement will be executed, right? So based on the x, the value will be printed. So I just add 2. So when you run, so if the condition is satisfied, so it will print the positive numbers. So I hope you can understood this thing. If you see, if I have to this kind of statement, right? You can see the call is coming, right? So this is very annoying. So this kind of bigger statement, right? This is very, we have to we have to scroll. So this is not expected, right? So I have to create do one thing. Just so how to handle this kind of long line statement, right? So we have to divide in the multi-line statement. So what I'll do, right? I just do one thing. We'll add these things. Or you can do, you can add the brackets. So multi-way we can multiple line we can use. Okay, plus marks is there. And then you can see with the brackets also that this I just write. So multi-line statement, first we have to write the multi-line statement and so multi-line statement. In Python, end of a statement is marked. First we have to understand and then we can practice. We have to write the syntax. By a new line character, marked by a new line character. But we can make, but we can make a statement extend over multiple lines with line condition character with line continuation is a line continuation character that is slash character. Let me finish this thing and I'll show you. So or you can do parentheses. or you can do brackets, or you can do braces, right? Or strings. You can also write multiple statement. You can also write multiple statements on a single line, on a single line using semicolons. Semi, right? This one. So I hope the concept of multi-line statement that we have understood, right? So these are several ways that we can use the line continuation. Like we can use slash, we can use parenthesis, that using parenthesis we can use brackets. So this is the using parenthesis. I just write using parenthesis. My z is executing, my print z, so that is executing, and like, and just copy it, and let's see with the slash this character, right? Yes, if you add this slash, and then this is also treated as multi-line. So print it same, right? There is no confusion. So using slash. So multiple lines we can execute. So I hope statement, that concept we can understand what is the statement and how we can use that, right? Do you have any questions, any confusion regarding that? So please ask me. Oh, okay, otherwise we can go with the next concept. So we can practice, just I'm giving you 1 or 2 minutes, and then we can go with the next concept. So whatever we have completed, indentation and statement, right? Comments we have done. I just write here so we can understood. So write indentations and statement that we have to cover. We have all covered already. So these 4-5 concepts that we have completed, these all are very core concept of Python that we have to understand, and then we can go one by one that complex things. Don't worry, I will show you each and every concept. So it's not an issue. We can complete all the things. We can show each and every concept so you can understand. So syntax are basically a rule that we can execute it in properly, right? So this is simply a part of the syntax, right? This is simple part of syntax, right? That's all. So multi-line statement we have understood, right? So there can be scenarios that you want to be want to create this kind of statement, you are declaring, let's say you are declaring, you have that long line of code, right? So you have to break it out in the multiple line. So like if I will write this thing in the long way in the one line, so it may scroll. So it does not expect it, right? We have to create the multiple line. So the code readability is there and we have to use that. So single line code that is very annoying to all of you. We have to scroll and we have to see what is written inside that. So instead of doing that, we have to create this thing. So that is the reason indentation is important. So this is the part of this that statement. So I hope that we can understand. So if I write without the indentation, so this kind of slash or this kind of brasses, and then it may show in the error in the statement, will show the error, right? Multiple line, you can see, you can copy. Sorry, extremely sorry for that. Plus and then 1. You can add one more line. Either you can do the plus sign here, or either here. Both are accepted, right? And if you remove this syntax, so it will show the error. You can see the error will come. Invalid syntax, it cannot understood. This is a line, this is a one line, this line is continuing, it cannot understood, right? So that is the reason we have to add this thing. So I hope that we all can understand that statement. And today's these all things we have to cover, and then we can go more on concept that I repeatedly told you. So please means that this all are the core concept. So please one by one we can go on the concept and we can see that all the things. So these all core concept we have to understand. And before starting the machine learning and the statistics, all kind of parts, so you have to know the Python. So this is the part that we can know, and we have to practice this repeatedly. I am telling. So please practice all the things. So that might be help. So if you using the complex logic or complex statement, so you can understood it better, right? I hope that that is good for all, and this is clear to all, right? So please, any questions or and don't worry about the code, the notebook that I will share with you. This notebook I can share with you, and I just provide you 1 or 2 minutes, and then I will start the new concept, right? Just writing the concept name, that is variables. I will start it. So and we need a way to tell Python this is the one single line, right? It is continuing. we have to know, we have to tell the Python, and while time of interpreting the code, the executing the code, so it can be treated. This is a simple one line that is continuing. So I can see I don't have any error because I told the Python this is the one line in my case. So in the brackets, Python can understand this is a single statement, right? This is basically a continuation character, right? And you should remember this name, like and all we can know this is called brackets, but there are different kinds of brackets, right? So that we have to know. Now, next part is variables. So what is variable? In Python, a variable, you have understood what is the concept of variable. So Python, a variable is a named location used to store data in a memory, right? I'm just telling one thing that in Python, a variable is a named location used to store data in memory. And variables are declared by writing the variable name and assigning it a value using the equal sign. Just I just write so you can also understood. I just write definition and the concept. Definition in Python, a variable is a named location, right? It's a named location used to store data in memory. And declaration and assignment. Declaration and assignment. Variables are declared by writing the variable name and assigning it a value using the equal sign, right? So I hope that concept we all can understood. What is a variable? It's a named location used to store the data in memory, right? And we use the equal sign. Just write a is equal to 5. And the value 5 is stored in that in that variable, right? A is equal to 5. And one concept that is dynamic typing. So we have to store the value in that memory location, right? 5. This value we can store. And one thing is that dynamic typing, right? So Python is a dynamically typed. We have to know, we have to know the concept that Python is a dynamically typed, which means that you don't have to declare the type of a variable. You don't need to declare the type of a variable. When you create this variable, right? You can even change the type of data held by a variable at any time. So what is this type of variable, right? How we can understand? So just write type A. So you can see it tells that is string, sorry, this integer, and I am not mentioned int in this way, right? I just write a is equal to 5, and when you see that what kind of variable this is, just write type and a. So it will print that int is an integer. Same that I will write b is equal to my name, right? And type b to print. You can see it will tell this is a string. So first value is integer. It's a dynamically typing. This is called. So very important concept. What is the dynamic typing? I will also write so we can understood in a better way that and just dynamic typing, dynamic typing. Python is dynamically typed, which means that you do not have to declare the type of a variable when you create it, right? You can even change the type of data, the type of data held by held by a variable at any time. So this is the concept dynamically typing. Automatically Python can understand this is a string or this called integer, right? So we can write this way. Like if I write C is equal to false, and you can write type C. It provides the means boolean type, right? And same thing, if I write D is equal to this value 1, 3, and 2, 5, 4, 5, and write type D. So you can see it's a list, right? Automatically it can understand. So this is called the dynamic typing. So this is very concept, very useful. Like I will write E is equal to 9.6 and type E. So it's float, right? Automatically it can understand. Just I write the type, and with the help of type we can understand what kind of variable is this. What kind of variable is this? So this is the technique called the dynamic typing. It tries to understand the automatically what is the data type, what is the variable type, right? So programmer won't take the heading, right? So what is the data type? What is the type? So this is dynamic typing. You don't have to declare the type of a variable when you create it, and you can even change the type of the data held by a variable at any time. I don't have to declare anything, right? Boolean or in the Java or other languages that you can see, they have to declare. So this is int b, float c, dict d, and then here they have added. But here we don't have to add these things. We just write, and then it automatically shows the data. So Python can automatically understand. This is the concept of variable. So just recap, what is variable? Variable is a named location used to store data in memory. And chances of the error is very less. So dynamic typing is very good concept in Python. And that is the reason that the demand of Python is very increasing. Right? This kind of concept that Python has. So everyone can understand the dynamic typing, right? I hope that concept is clear. We don't have to provide anything. There are different kind of type, right? You can see 5 is an integer. My name is a string. False, this is Boolean. So this kind of data type they have provided, right? And this is list. This is a float. And also I have added that if is equal to what is this? This is tuple, right? If I write if and print, so it's a tuple, right? As a list, it's a boolean. Different. What's the variable that data type they have pointed? So it has automatically identified. So in other language, they are which are not dynamically typed. You have to mention the type. Like percentage, int. So you have to mention the type, right? B is equal to 3. String is equal to C is equal to. So in case of Python, you cannot declare these things. I repeatedly told, right? You just add. And Python is Python headed. They can understand. They can determine. They can identify what is the variable type. We cannot go with that. That is the that is the very important concept of dynamic typing. And please remember these things. So in those languages, they are not dynamically typing, so they have to mention it. Right? I don't have to. I don't. There is no my. It's not my area, right? I just declare. Automatically, Python can understand. You can see and write the type. This is called the dictionary, right? Dict method. So this is the thing that we have to understood, and I hope that the concept is clear for the dynamic typing. Like percentage, if you write this way, that where you do not you do not have dynamic typing, have dynamic typing. Int percentage, right? without the dynamic typing, so you have to mention the type, like Java or other languages. Then we have to mention the type. But here we don't don't use to mention the type, right? It automatically understood. So this is the beauty of Python. That we can understood. Type E type E, right? We can directly declare percentage and like percentage, I like percentage is equal to 80 or 90 or just 80, and type percentage. So automatically understood this is an integer, and you can write is a float. Automatically understood, right? It's a floating point number. I hope the concept is clear for that variable and dynamic typing. What is called these things? What is the concept? And please practice these things at your end. And is there any queries, or otherwise we have to go the next concept? If you don't have any query, then we have to go the next concept. I hope this concept is good, right? You can understood, right? You don't have any questions, so I just provide you 1 or 2 minutes, and then we have to go the next concept. So I hope that you all can understood the concept wise. This thing is clear. So please remember this thing. Python is a dynamically typed and case sensitive, right? These two things you have to remember. So this kind of concept you have to know, right? Now I have to wait 1 or 2 minutes. Otherwise, I will go to the next concept. So variables also be completed. I'll just add variables. I have to add over here every time. So add variables. Next concept that we are going to introduce. Next concept is the data types in Python. I just add data types in Python. Just like, don't worry, every topics, everything I will cover. Data types in Python. I'll add like now we can start, right? So what is the data type? So integer is a data type, float is a data type, string is a data type. I'll just write, and then we can show that example. So first write integers. Integers. I change that cell, that is integers. Integers are whole numbers. Integers are whole numbers without a fractional component. Without a fractional component. They can be positive or negative. They can be positive or negative. So just you understood what is the integer? And next, this is an integer type, right? So integers are whole numbers without a fractional component. They can be positive, they can be negative, right? Any and next, one by one I will discuss. So everything that I will discuss. Integer, after that float, that string that will come, right? One by one. Okay, I'm wait for 1 minute and then we'll start. Please take your time to grasp the concept and then we can start. Not an issue. Yeah. So they start the data types, right? Like integers. So it is integer data type, right? Like x, y. It can be positive, it can be negative. I just write float. Floats. Floats represent real numbers and are written with a decimal point. With a decimal point. Just write simply, right? like x is equal to 5.66. This is my floating point number, right? So these are different data types, right? There is no decimal point in the integer, right? So I already discussed, so again I am discussing that there is no decimal point, but here you can see float. And just name one is equal to any name, just I'll write. I already discussed this data type. These all are data types. Just adding the, I just add all the things because you can add the all the definition also. So you can understand, right? That is the main concept and main agenda. So just write the string. What is string? Strings in Python are sequence of character data, right? Strings in Python are sequences of character data. Character data. They are created by enclosing characters in codes, right? This is the string. So type, you can write name one. So this is string. Now, one more important concept, that is list. So list, tuple, and dictionary, that things is very important. So one by one, I will do. So what is list? Just you can write. So list in Python is an ordered collection, right? Or it also known as a sequence of items. Lists are similar to arrays in other languages, right? In a JavaScript or any other languages, it's similar to an array, but with additional functionalities. So first, I can write the list and the definition. A list in Python is an ordered collection, also known as a sequence of items, right? Lists are similar to arrays in other languages, right? In other languages like JavaScript, you have the array, but with additional functionality. Lists are mutable. You have to give some highlights on that point. So mutable, right? Lists are mutable, which means their elements can be changed. We can add we can modify, we can delete after they created. List is mutable, not immutable, mutable. I'm writing mutable. List are, just make some space. List are mutable, which means their elements can be changed, we can add it, we can modify it or delete it after they created, right? So lists are mutable. You have to understand these things. We can change, we can alter the elements, the creation. In the point of creation, we can say list is created by placing items or elements inside square brackets, right? Within the help of square bracket, we can create list separated by commas. So as a creation, a list is created by placing items, elements inside square brackets and separated by commas. So these are the main three concepts as per the definition. So list is a ordered collection, also known as sequence of items. Lists are similar to arrays. So in other languages like JavaScript, we can see the array and here the list. But there are some additional functionality. Mutable, lists are mutable. That means their element can be changed. We can add, we can modify, we can delete after they created. As a creation, a list is created by placing items inside square bracket and separated by commas. So that all concept that we can understood, right? So one by one we can discuss. This very important concept, list. Like my list. So my list, you have to add the variable name my list, or you can write, if you write this is empty list, right? I just type my list is a list, but it's an empty list, right? I have to add some value. Happens like fruits. I have to create fruits name that list, right? Traps. So you can see that list. This is the type, right? And I have to print all the list, right? Print. This is the my fruit list. It will be my fruit list. Our order collection, and you have to print it, right? So very important concept, mutable. You can change. What is the concept of mutable? We can change after creating that element, right? I can add, we can add new, you can add new items. We can add new items. We can add new fruit items inside the list. We can delete, modify. This is the concept of mutable. List are so we can change. Their elements can be changed. We can change their value, right? After they have created. So please make sure this concept and these are an interview questions that list are mutable or not. And what is the difference between list and tuple? When I discuss the tuple, that time I will discuss. But as of now, only focus the list mutable. We can change it. We can create it. We can modify it, right? We can add the elements. We can modify the elements. We can delete the elements. So this is the list. So okay, one concept that is heterogeneous elements. A list can contain elements of different types. Different type or data types that we can contain inside the list. Like in a single list, we can add integers value, we can add floats, we can add strings, and even other list of tuples, right? So I just write heterogeneous elements that you have to understood. The list can contain a list can contain elements of different types of different types, integers, floats, string in a single list, right? And even other list and even other list. So what is the meaning that I want to show you? Like my custom list you can create and just add one is a integer, right? Kaushik is a string. False is a boolean, right? And also you can add these values, my fruit list. So all the things we can contain inside that, right? So just paste. So it's a list. So I can create the custom list and go and just print, right? So you can see one, Koshi, false, and also this is the apples, bananas. The separate list, simple single list that we can also add inside the list. Inside the list, we can also add the list, right? Like sub list. I can create sub list equal to now you can see I will add this value, right? So this is the list, my custom list, and then you can add this sub list also, sub list, and print the value, right? So you can see, so different list also you can add in a single list, right? But my question is, how can we access the data? Is if I want to access only the apples, right? This value, how we can access them? So This is the, you can see the first index. The index is starting index value. So indexing, so list support indexing and slicing to access and modify their elements. So Python list start at 0. So if I want to access this value, grabs, right? So what I will do, I'll just write here Python list and the Python index start from 0, right? So I also add the comments on that here so you can understood. Indexing and slicing, indexing and slicing, list support, list support, indexing and slicing, indexing and slicing, to access and modify their elements, right? And Python list indicates here it says start at 0, start at 0. So that we know. Just copy and I will write from here so you can also understand. To access this element, so happens, right? If I want to access, then I just add the print. So one by one, it will be executed. And then copy and print. So one. So you can see second items that will be, I can get this value, right? Grapes, that also we can get this value. So these are the things that we have to know. So Python index start from 0 position. So this way we can access. And homogeneous means there is two keywords, heterogeneous and homogeneous. Homogeneous means same type of elements. And heterogeneous means a list can contain element of different types that I've shown you, right? Integers, floats, strings, even other lists. So this is that concept of heterogeneous element. Okay, I'll again discuss, explain these things. So like hetero, my list. One, stem, and again I'm writing, instead of declaring the variable, I also write apples, bananas, grapes. So this is the heterogeneous. You will type is a list. And if you print the value, you can see the value. So this value is showing, right? You can also print. You can use a lot of examples, and in your actual problem statement or project list are there. You have to use these things. You have to use this. Sorry for that. So you have to use this thing. So you have to use the list, tuples, and dictionary in your project. So everywhere it is required. So first you have to explain the list. So I hope that you can understood. If you have any questions, please let me know. And then I will go to the next concept. So nature-wise, list are mutable. We can change. Like I do one thing. I do one thing. This value, right? My fruit list. I will copy it. This is my list, right? And if I want to add one item, append coconut. Is it working? Yes. So I have add one value, right? And print your list. You can append. Append means add. Print. You can see that coconut, this value is added over here, right? In the list. So that means you can add, you can change, you can append. Append means you can add elements inside the list, right? So like JavaScript, it is called push inside the list. If you use the JavaScript, then you can add push, and here you can add append. You can append, so it can add the new items inside the list. Now we have added the new items in the list. Now if I want to remove the items from the list, so what we can do? So just copy these things, and or I'll write. Better I can write so you can understood, right? So you can see that I want to remove the bananas. That item is removed. So index value you have to add. So you can add the pop, and then you can, if I want to see the list, I want to see the list. You can see that apple, grapes, and coconut. So bananas is out from there. So you can pop it out. Apple you can add, and pop you can remove. You can remove item by indexing. In list. In a list, right? So you can see that indexing has been updated. Now we can access this value, like I want to access the grapes. Earlier I access the grape that is indexing 3, right? 0, 1, 2. Now I can access this value, right? So this is the concept of list, that with the help of append, we can add the data and we can also pop the data, right? Now, new concept is, I hope you can understand. Next, we have to go the next concept, that is tuples. If you have any problem, please let me know, or I will give you 1 or 2 minutes. Then I will go the next concept, right? That is that concept we'll discuss. So as of now, we have completed the list. I will add list also be there. List we have completed. Again and again we'll discuss, not an issue. Just this is all concept that I'm discussing. So list, tuples, and dictionary, set, you can get these things in everywhere. In a data science project, you can get these things. You can use these things. Everywhere you can get these things. This is not an issue. Right? You can work on that. So I just provide the syntax and you can use it. Your tuples, that I just write what is the tuples, and before writing that you have to know the concept. So a tuple in Python is similar to a list. It's an ordered collection of items, but tuples are immutable. The major difference from list is that tuples are immutable, which means their elements cannot be changed. We cannot add. Like you can see that in the list we can add. We cannot add. No addition, no modification, or no deletion after they created. That is why tuples are immutable and lists are mutable. And a tuple is created by placing items inside a parenthesis like brackets separated by comma. In list, we can use third brackets. This is called square bracket, that is called. And in the tuples, we can use parentheses. Just write down all the things so you can understand in a better way. Now just add the tuples. First, write the definition. What is called tuples? A tuple in Python is similar to a list. Is similar to a list. It's an ordered collection of items. It's an ordered collection of items. Right? Second is that immutable. So the major difference from list, that tuples are immutable. Which means their elements cannot be changed. Cannot be changed. No addition, no modification, or deletion, right? After they have created. After they have created. after they create it. So we all understood what is the tuples. And third, at the stage of creation, right? A tuple is created by placing elements inside parentheses and separated by commas. That we can understood, right? What is tuple? Tuple is also similar kind of things of list. It's also an ordered collection of items, and like list, this only difference that immutable. We cannot change, and at that point of heterogeneous elements, like list, a tuple can also contain elements of different types. It can also contain different types like float, string, integer, even other tuples on list, right? So I just add that heterogeneous elements like list. A tuple can also contain elements of different types. Integers, floats, strings, and even other tuples or list. So we all understood, right? What is the concept of tuple and what is the concept of list? So this is the major difference is that we cannot change their elements. There is no addition, there is no modification or deletion after they created. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we can go with this. We have to press this. So please uh, let me know if is there any problem from your side. Okay. And I suggest that after that class, after the sessions, then we have to give you just 10 minutes for asking your doubts. Then we can complete. We can address the doubts, right? So in the mid of the session, we cannot do it. It will break the flow, right? You can understand. I hope you all can understand that concept wise, the tuples and so I have to create tuples. My tuples. So bracket. I write bananas or write any name. You can see uh, Python, ML, DL, AI. So these all data science categories of this kind of names, right? So first I have to understand the type. Type can determine that dynamically type, right? I already discussed these things. So first I have to write type. It can tell that variable, the the content, the data, right? It contains this data, right? It's tuple or list or anything, right? Now it's a tuple. We can print the value. You can print the value and Then we have to print. That print. You can see, you can add, you can see that value, right? And tuples also support indexing and slicing, that I will also add. Indexing and slicing. Tuples also support the indexing and slicing like list, but you can modify, but you cannot modify the elements, but you can not modify the elements. You cannot add, you cannot delete, you cannot modify. So once it's created, but you cannot modify. If you want to modify, then you have to convert from tuples to list and then list to tuples. Then it can be one. But directly you cannot convert the tuples. That is the property called immutable. We cannot change. So just I'm writing lists are mutable, lists are mutable, and tuples are immutable. Let's check on the, I just like my so my tuples. So first difference that list we can start with the square brackets and tuples we can start with the parentheses. We can add the elements in the list, but in the tuples we cannot create. Once the tuple is created, we cannot modify. We cannot alter. We cannot change the value, right? Like my, if I want to add one value, both are heterogeneous, hold both can hold different type data types. First, we have to see the heterogeneous, like heterogeneous tuples, like one lies apples, bananas, grapes, print. You can see tuples is there. So heterogeneous, different data types. First number, this is string and this is list, right? So this value is printed. And the type, we also see print type triple. Major difference is mutable and immutable. This is the major difference is that. So everyone concept is clear, right? So one by one, we can go and grab all the concept. So first, we have to understand. So list we have understood, right? The tuples. Then one by one, I will go. So don't worry about that. What I'm going to cover or not. You can't modify. Tuples you cannot modify, right? So tuples is there, and then list and tuples we have covered. List and tuples. Next is that dictionary. So right, I want to show one thing. So tuples value, how can we add, right? So first, I am taking this value. Simple value I have to take. My tuples. My fruit tuples. Right? Change from markdown to this cell code, right? Apples, bananas, grapes, right? Now, one problem statement is that I have to add one item. So how we can add the items? This is my tuples, and interviewer asks you, you have to add one item inside the tuples. But we all know we cannot add, right? So this is the trick they have taken in time of interview, right? So this is my tuple. So my tuple is there, right? So interviewer asks that you have to change. You have to add one element. So how we can do that? So convert my tuples in list, right? So your tuples is converted to list. So how I can see type is a list currently, right? And once the list is there, you can show the value also, print their values inside the list. Apples, bananas, right? Now you have to append one item. Not append coconut one, right? And then again you print this thing. So coconut is added, right? First item, grapes is there and now coconut. So problem statement is that you have to add one more item. You have to add one more item inside that tuples. But how we can do that? First we have to convert, right? So this is my problem statement. I just this is the tuples. First we have to convert tuples to list and check their tuple and check their data type after converting. I use each and every comment so you can understand in later. And now print the list value and we can see as it is lists are showing with their values, right? And now we have to convert, we have to add new item inside the list, not tuples, because we cannot add. But now print the updated list. Now print the updated list. I print the updated list. So convert my tuples and then I have to convert list in tuples. So you can convert it, check list to tuple. So print that value in tuple and you can assign the value and print string. You can see that the value is added. So in this way, if is there this type of scenario is there, na? So you can handle, you can convert it in the list better. You can add, modify all the things and then you can convert it from list, from tuple to list and then list to tuple. Then it can be easily accessible, right? So convert my list in tuples and assign a value, list value, tuples value inside my root tuples and you have to print. very serious because I missed the brackets. That's why showing invalid. No, everything is correct. You can see this problem statement, right? Next concept, I hope you all can understand this thing, right? Is it okay, right? So next is that we have started new concept that is called dictionary. Now we have to start a dictionary. So what is the dictionary? That is also very important concept in Python. A dictionary in Python is an unordered collection of items. Each item stored in a dictionary has a key and value pair, right? Dictionary require one key and a value, making it key value pair. First, you have to know these things. Dictionary are mutable. Please consider and focus on this part. Dictionary as mutable, which means you can change their elements, you can add, you can modify or delete key value pairs from a dictionary. So as a term of creation, a dictionary is created by placing items key value pair inside curly braces, right? Separated by commas. Each item is a pair mode made of a key value pair. That is the concept. So dictionary is a Python unordered collection of items, right? First, we have to write that all the definition on and things so you can understand in better way. So dictionaries. First is definition. A dictionary I will write dict, right? A dict in Python is an unordered collection, is Python is an unordered collection of items, collection of items. Each item stored in a dictionary, in a dict, has a key value pair, has a key value pair, making it a key value pair, right? Like mutable, mutable, that means we can change. Dict are mutable, which means you can change their elements. You can add, modify, or delete key value pairs from a dictionary. From a dictionary, dict. I write dict, right? Creation. A dictionary is created. A dict is created by placing items, key value pair, right? Key value pair inside curly braces, curly braces, separated by commas, separated by commas. Each item is a pair. Each item, each item is a pair. Is a pair made up of a key value of a key value separated by colon. Separated. All the things I will show you in the coding, not an issue. Separated by a colon. Don't worry. So dictionaries, as a definition, we can see is an unordered collection of items. Each item we can store in a dictionary, that is key value pair. Mutable, dicts are mutable. That means you can change their elements, you can add, you can modify, you can delete that key value pairs. And at the time of creation, a dict is created by placing items like key value pair inside curly braces, right? Separated by commas. Each item is a pair made of a key value and separated by a colon. So these things we have to understood what is dictionaries and all the things. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we can go in the coding part. So first, my dict. So what is written inside that definition and statement? Curly braces, right? And key value pair. So name Kaushik. Skill data science. Python. Right? So name is a key, skill is a key, and these are values, right? And you can type my dict. So it's simply written that it's a dict. And one main thing that also added and that part is that heterogeneous element. Heterogeneous elements. Keys and values in a dictionary. Keys and values in a dictionary can be of any type. Can be of any type. Values can be heterogeneous. Values can be heterogeneous. But keys should be, but keys should be of an immutable type. Of an immutable type. Immutable type. That we have to know. Like string, number, or tuple. Like string, number, and tuples. This is the last concept. Then I will close the session. Don't worry, not an issue. This is the last concept, and then we have to see. And one thing that I have to add, unique is each key in a dictionary should be unique. Each key in a dictionary should be unique. Should be unique. in nature, in nature. If a dictionary is created, if a dict is created, if a dict is created with duplicate keys, with duplicate keys, the last assignment will override. The last assignment is override the previous one. Assignment is override the previous one. Right? Let's see. We'll add this thing. Let's copy and put in the next cell, and you can add that name. Rajesh. And print. Let's see what it will show. My dict. And here also I just print my dict, and also add the print. You can see the name Kaushik skills Python is there, right? And if I write name, you can see Rajesh and skill Python. So whatever I write, that is working, right? Unique keys. So Rajesh will be override the previous one. So I have taken the name, the same key. So we cannot use that unique key. Key should be unique. Otherwise, so you can also do like skill, like Angular. Anything you can write. Okay. You can see Rajesh and Angular will be override the previous, like Kaushik and Python. So we cannot use the same key, right? And how we can access their keys name, only keys name? Just type my dict dot keys. So function dict key you can see, and print. So that object is located in this memory location, right? Built-in method keys. And also values. So two memory location you can see, and then this is the value. Right? Same memory location they have taken. So this is the two methods, built-in method. Right? Can we add the new items? Yes, we can add new items. So how we can do that? And like I have my dict. Here I want to add the element, right? My dict or add dict element. Right? Each location. Let's just add location. That is your Kolkata. I can write, and my dict. So how can add new elements? You can see like location, right? Just do one thing, a location. And you have to add this value, location, and this is your print the value. And you can see I have add new items, new key inside that. So name Koshi, skill Python, and location Kolkata. That in this way you can add the item, right? So I hope that you can understand the dictionary value. You can access the value. And now how can we access the items that I want to show? Simple. This is that properties that keys and values. Now I just add one thing. It's located inside this memory location. You can see. Just do one thing and print. You can see only keys are there, and just one thing, values, copy the values and values. No, OC, Python and Kolkata, right? So you can see in this way you can get, and particularly so get the items of keys. So you just write get the items from keys, and from keys of dict, get the item from value of dict. Now my question is that if I want to access this Python value only, how can we get? So it's very simple. My dict dot get, just write and skill, and you can see you can access this Python. So with the help of with the help of get e get, we can get, with the help of get method of dict, we can get the values of this one. Same way, just print it. Get the value of the particular value. So get the particular value of e skill. And one main thing, just one concept of print, you can take that if function, right? Like you can just put if, and then you no need to add anything over there. So string interpolation will be working, and then just do these brackets. In this way, you also can write. So you no need to add comma, anything, right? Just make it straight. So just click some place. Okay, then you can understood, right? So my dict dot get skill. You can also get the value of the keys value, right? Get and the name, right? Here you write the name, Koshi, right? Same thing that we can get. This is the concept that we have come across, and we can see that location is not is updated, then it will come location. Yeah, it's updated the value, so location is Kolkata. So in this way, we can also access the value of dictionary, right? Here I am going to stop. I not added anything because the session is too long. Please, I just told you, just please practice all the things at your home, at your end, that you can understand the basic concept, and these all the concepts are required when you working in a Python actual project. So assignment also be provided. So one by one, we just go and we can learn, right? So please, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we can drop the session. So we all can understand, right? If you have any questions, please ask me. So this is the thing, right? You can add the dictionaries, keys, values that we have discussed, right? You can add that. You can add the dict dot keys. You can get the value. That memory location, that value also be there. If you add like this way, this is the memory location, right? And we can also see memory location this part, and also you can see the memory location, right? And also get the value. So all the things are covered in this session about the dictionaries and tuple list, all the things. And please practice these things. If you have any doubts, please let me know. So we can connect, we can discuss, we can address your doubts. And these all the things from my side. And thank you for joining the session, each and everyone, for providing your time, providing, I mean, and please subscribe this channel. So I will add one by one each and every concept in this channel. So please subscribe this channel. And if you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment box so I can write. You can address this and subscribe the channel. You all know that it is taking so much effort of creating this kind of live coding session, right? So I hope that will be great, and together and we can grow and learn. So in this way, we have to drop the session, right? All the things I have covered up to dictionary. Okay, I have to mention tuples and dict. Tuples and dict. So up to these things I've covered, right? Thank you everyone for joining the session. You can go through. I will add this notebook in the description box, so you can get, and I'll add my GitHub link also over there, so you can get the values. We can get the, sorry, not there. You can get the file. Sorry for my mistake. And thank you everyone for joining this session. Thank you.